So I predicted that all the home teams were going to win. Obviously, I was wrong. And that's okay because listen, this Euro has been this Euro has been beyond my expectations, all right? I was talking to my little brother last time and he said he's like, the Euros the games are good. The games have been great. But the big teams are gonna get through, and we're gonna get good matches. But it's gonna be same old of teams. We have had three big teams already. If you want to consider Portugal, four big teams already head out, and I think it's been insane. These matches have been so good, especially that one beautiful Monday. Mwah. I watched those games like no other, and I was filled. I loved it. So to respond to what I predicted, I said Wales was going to beat Denmark. I was completely off of that one. I am willing to admit. Denmark has a spark right now. Denmark has a spark that I didn't see. I thought that it was going to be like a tight match, and Wales was going to kind of squeeze through. But Denmark just completely shut out Wales, and I think that's when I saw that game, I was like, yeah. But it was, congratulations to Denmark. I continue to love their success, and if they get to the semifinals, it's going to be crazy. Denmark hasn't won. Let me double check. When was the last time they won anything? Let's see. Budget European. They haven't been champions since 1992. So they've been champions one time since 1992. I haven't even been born yet. So I think it's great to see these types of stories. After I love watching Denmark play right now, and I continue to, see what's next for them. It's getting exciting. All right, so yeah, Denmark 4, Wales 0. I was not expecting that type of play from Wales. They gave a fight to Italy, and they played well in their group. So the 4-0 really kind of caught me off guard, but they they were bad that game. They were bad. Italy and Austria, I got this one right. And I think I also said for this one that that Italy was going to win by a 1-goal differential, and they did. Italy took a 2-0 lead in extra times, and then Austria scored the 1 goal to sort of up the stakes. But yeah, it was a very close match. I liked watching it, and it was just wow, very good game. Enjoyed very much. So yeah, 1 wrong and 1 right for me. Netherlands. First of all, I don't know what the was it De Ligt? I don't know how to say his last name. I'm so sorry. The defender that went that with his head yeah, that was unfortunate. And then literally after that, Netherlands just kind of fell. The game was back and forth. Czech was on Netherlands. Netherlands was more on Czech Republic. And then after that red card to the defender, Netherlands just kind of wasn't able to regroup, and Czech Republic went through, defeating Netherlands in regular time 2-0. Considered the first upset of the knockout rounds. And to be honest, I probably should have seen this coming. Netherlands haven't been the same since World Cup 2014. They failed to qualify, I think, to the past Euro. Yeah, they failed to qualify to the past Euro, and they didn't qualify to the past World Cup in 2018 in Russia. So, many people were thinking, oh, maybe Netherlands is, coming back. And I think this goes to show that the youngsters are still kind of trying to find themselves. That's all I can say. There were so much expectations on these young players from Netherlands, and they didn't deliver. Um, they had good matches in the group stage, and unfortunately, literally winning 3 matches meant nothing if come the first knockout rounds you just don't do anything. So yeah, there was that. Surprise, definitely, but a welcomed one. One of the things that I like about that makes a tournament great is when the teams that, like, personally for me, whenever there's a team that everyone's like, oh, they can have a good game, but they're gonna get defeated, and they put up a fight and makes you think like, okay, I think they can take it. Those are good tournaments. Those are good games, which is what we've had in this past round. I think this is probably from my experience, from what I've lived and what I've seen, this has been the best Euro knockout round, not even tournament round, ever. It was not like this the last Euro, and this Euro has been really, whew, and we're even gonna get more as we continue down the road. So I got 2 wrong, 1 right, and then I got 2 right with Belgium and Portugal. This is probably the one game that I will say wasn't as like it had its moments, but it really didn't have that like intensity that a lot of people thought we were gonna get with Cristiano Ronaldo, Joao Felix, basically the Portugal team being the current champions, and Belgium being always considered a dark horse, but at this point now they're considered a big team. So it was a very close match, and I think the 1-0 really reflects that. And by the second half, there wasn't really much going on. There were opportunities here and there, great plays, and near the end of the last minutes, Portugal was just on Belgium, but Belgium was able to hold on to the lead, and Belgium are through. So yeah, and personally, to me, I don't think this is going to be Ronaldo's last Euro. I mean, it all depends on him. To me personally, I think if he continues to be in great shape, I think he can be at least like a super sub for Portugal in the next Euro, providing that Portugal qualifies to the Euro. But yeah, I personally, to me, I think he has 1 more Euro in him. If he keeps up, the great physique, the great training, the mentality that he's known for, and just the skills to be able to provide something for Portugal, because ultimately, if you don't have the mentality to be an international, if you don't have the physique, the drive, the passion, all of that doesn't matter. If you have skill, like all of that doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter if you don't have skills, because why would they bring you if you don't have skills, right? This is international. You're representing a whole country. So yeah, I that's where I think Cristiano Ronaldo. And from my view, all those people saying, and I have to say it one more time, hey, Ronaldo, he reached 109 because of like low teams and whatever. To me personally, at least he scored. It'd be surprisingly and baffled if Ronaldo didn't score against these low teams. People would then be like, he can't even score against yada yada, like a low team. But he can, and he has scored a number of times against big clubs. Not as many as against little clubs, but he has been scoring. And then people are like, because it's penalties. It's like, at least he shows you he's good at penalties. Like, I would have him take penalty as well. Like, the man is good at penalties. So I could care less if his all 109 goals have been penalties. If you're scoring them, I'm okay with that. And especially if it helps to freaking progress. So to me, that's just, whenever I see those comments, they're just haters. If it's not like an actual like critique, because the man plays well on the field. He's creating opportunities. He's taking shots, um, and that's him. That the fact that he puts himself up to kick the penalties when there's a penalty involved. He could have been like, here, you take a penalty, but he knows he can, and the team trusts him. So I think that's where I stand. And so congratulations to Ronaldo, 109 international goals, and can't wait to hear or even see when he scores the 110th, if he scores it, because who knows at this point. So yeah, Croatia and Spain. I got this one wrong. I said Croatia was going to beat Spain. Yeah. I think was because here's again, group stage means nothing. Spain kind of was flimsy at the group stage, and here they come scoring 5 goals. But I will say they did kind of like meh there at first. So there was that. First of all, that was the weirdest and most awful own goal I have ever seen in an international level. I've seen those happen in like clubs, but not like at an international level. And it reminds me of that one goal that for the Haiti goalkeeper that recently happened in the World Cup qualifiers. But for a team to happen for like Spain, that was like, whew, but then Spain came back, took the lead 2-1. No, they took the lead 3-1. They took the lead 3-1, and in the last 10 minutes, Croatia came back 3-3 to go to extra times. It baffles me that Spain let that go at like in the last 5 minutes, in the last 5 minutes of the game, and then they had to rely on scoring 2 goals in the halftime. But Spain are through. Croatia gave it their all, and it is what it is. It was a great match to watch. Literally, that day was woo. Croatia and Spain gave us one heck of a match, and then followed up by that was France versus Switzerland. So Croatia versus Spain went through, and then France and Switzerland. I think there is a small percentage of people around the world that had betted that Switzerland was going to get through, because France was the top favorite to win the championship in most predictions that I've seen. In most predictions that I've heard, people were always thinking about France, that this is their Euro, that they lost last time in the final, and this time they're gonna make up for it. They're the current World Cup champions. They have all-star players with a returning Benzema and an Mbappe and Pogba and N'Golo Kante and all of that. They just they just had that it's like, oh, I think France is gonna take it. And then Switzerland takes the lead, and they're playing a really good game. France isn't playing bad. They're playing a good game as well. Switzerland just happens to score. They just happen to score first, and everyone's like, oh, okay, game on. And then the penalty. This was the moment that everyone's like, oh my God, Switzerland had a penalty, and they missed it. Switzerland missed it, and people were like, no, Switzerland could have been up 2-0, and they could have shut out France. And then France scores 2 goals, almost back to back, thanks to Benzema. And people were like, oh. And I heard this, and I saw the comments on Twitter, on Facebook, and I heard the commentators in Spanish, and even in English. All right, France is now in the lead. Back to normality, because that's the way that most people thought it should be. France should be winning. France should be progressing to the next round because they're supposed to be winning the tournament. So basically, it's back to the status quo. And then Pogba scored. First of all, what a heck of a shot! What a goal! And the celebration, obviously, Never celebrate like that again. Never celebrate like that again. Uh, and then it was 3-1. It was 3-1, and everyone was like, "All right, game over. France through." And even my little brother, before he went to work, he's like, "Oh yeah, France is gonna go through again. Meh." He likes tournaments that like the small teams actually beating big teams. And I was like, yeah, I guess. And then Switzerland scored, and it was like offsides, and everyone was like, oh, like okay. And then Switzerland scored, and this one actually counted. Everyone was like, oh snap, what's happening? And then they scored in the 90th minute, and it was 3-3, and everything just like broke loose. And the thing was that France wasn't playing bad. I can't remember who scored the goal. But there there was a Switzerland goal that he had the ball turned back. He took on the defender, literally like did like a move, and then just took the shot, and it scored a goal. And it was like, that was such a great goal. Like, France wasn't playing bad, Switzerland wasn't playing bad. They were both playing good. And so, like, to Switzerland tie it up does not delineate that France was playing bad. Switzerland just like was playing on another level, and I loved watching that game. I loved watching it. And then extra times, go to penalties, and the one person we did not expect to miss the penalty, at least I didn't. But here's the thing, though, and I should have recorded my reactions. When I saw Mbappe, I had a feeling. I was like, I feel like he's gonna miss it. And then I was like, no, he's not gonna miss it. And it's like, it would suck though if he missed it. And then he kicks, and the goalkeeper blocks it, and I was like, oh, no way. And then they kind of stopped for a second. I was like, oh, okay, wait, they might redo it. And then they say, nope, he missed it. The goalkeeper blocked it, and they go celebrate. No words. That was one of the best games. That, alongside with Croatia and Spain, I think I'm going to remember that day for a long time. This is what people pay for to go see in soccer teams. It's not, and I'm not talking about a lot of goals, but, well, actually, that's a lie. We're there to watch goals, okay? I am paying with hard-working money, with me and sometimes with my family, to go watch and just see goal after goal and see talent, right? I could care, like, okay, like, yeah, you took this person on, oh, like, Meg, great skills. It means nothing if it doesn't end up on a goal. And that I learned that lesson when I was playing in a travel team. I would have these occasion moments where I was able to like cut the ball through the defender and then have a one-on-one, and like that, like through ball or Meg or skills, it's great to watch. It means nothing if there's no goals, right? Like, oh, congratulations, yeah, it was great to see his magic, but the game was so boring, 0-0. Like, goals literally lift up this like environment. So to see a 5-3 Spain versus Croatia and a 3-3 France versus Switzerland, it changed the dynamic. I saw people tweeting, like freaking out that this is happening, and just like going ecstatic, and them saying stuff like, this is why I love this sport. And it wasn't just because Switzerland was tying 3-3. It was the fact that you could see the passion in France, that you could see the passion in Switzerland, that they were going all out. When friggin' France was 3-1, people were like, Switzerland is out, and they didn't give up, and they freaking tied it and won. Great. Same with Spain 3-1, and then Croatia ties it. Like, this is what we pay for. This is what we want to see in sports, not the typical 1-0. They both play tactics and try to outmaneuver with skills. Like, that's all like part of the build-up, right? It means nothing if there's a bunch of like gameplay around but nothing to show for it, right? So if there's gameplay and goals, one of the best things ever to ever happen to, and I feel very like almost jealous of those people that were in front of these games to watch this happen before their eyes. And like, to me personally, like, I would be like disappointed that my team got eliminated, obviously, but I would applaud the effort. I would applaud Croatia's comeback. I would applaud France's wake up call. I would applaud Switzerland if they had been eliminated in penalties for that comeback. I would applaud Spain after, and I applaud Spain, for kind of like messing up at the back and scoring an own goal to then taking the lead, like responsibility. These are the types of games that football fans live for, that we always like wish to see, because it sucks if you pay, let's say, minimum $20 to be seated around the close to the field to watch games, and you leave home with a 0-0. You want to see goals. Like, to me, it doesn't say that people were bad if there's a 5-3, if there's a 3-3. It means these people are skillful. It means these people can get the job done. It means these people have the passion to put their team on front. And the blocks, oh my lord, the blocks that we saw through all these matches, freaking through all these matches, some of these goalkeepers, like, they showed up. And in style, and this has been the best round. So let me finish talking about this round. I'm so sorry. So Denmark. So I got the Denmark wrong, Italy right, Netherlands wrong with Czech Republic, Belgium right, Croatia wrong with Spain, France wrong with Switzerland, and then England right with Germany, and Sweden wrong with Ukraine. So I got 5 wrong and 3. This is how you know. First of all, this is how you know I haven't really been paying attention much to international Europe soccer. Second, I think this shows a lot of how great European soccer is. Here in CONCACAF, I want to see a game where Haiti is literally pushing Mexico to the limit, instead of Mexico just having a bad game and Haiti getting across with what they have. Because there is a difference between a big team just having a bad game with the small team taking advantage of that. There's this difference of that between the big team playing really great and the little team matching their energy, matching theirs, and that just makes football so much better. Which is something that here in CONCACAF for me, that I'm going to be watching later. In July, it's going to be one of those things that we kind of wish for. I'm kind of tired of seeing Mexico beat Cuba 5-0. I want Cuba to make Mexico think, oh snap, but not because Mexico was playing bad. I want Mexico to be playing good, but Cuba was also playing like at the level. I want the level in CONCACAF to grow as well, to the point where when the World Cup comes around, people can actually think that a team that isn't European or South American can actually win the World Cup. That's what I long to see. But anyways, England 2-0 versus Germany, and the chance coming back. Football's coming home. Really excited. I think at this point, and once I get to the quarterfinals talk, I'll talk about that. And then Switzerland losing in extra times versus Ukraine. Not an intense match, but definitely very equal. And I think either Sweden or Ukraine definitely had it. What's it called? Had the rights to go to the next round. So congratulations to the teams that qualify to the quarterfinals. I hope to continue watching these types of matches, because it would suck if after those types of rounds, moving forward, it's just meh. But we're gonna once I'm gonna look at it more in deep when I talk about quarterfinals. So that's it for the round of 16. Great round. Really, it sets a high expectations for what fans want to watch in the next round. So very excited to what's coming next in the Euro 2020. So